Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video called What Swedes Think About Finland and Finnish Language. I think this is interesting because I know that they're part, not Scandinavia, Nordic countries, I think that's the right term, but whatever it is, I think for the rest of the world, they're pretty similar countries. So I'm very interested to know what they think about each other. So let's check it out and comment, like, and subscribe.
In today's video, we are asking Swedes what do they think about Finland and Finnish language.
Finnish people are nice, and I think they are very smart. Smarter than most people, because in school they have to learn both Swedish, Finnish, and like English and language like Spanish or French.
4 languages.
German, I think. So I think they're very smart. Finland.
Finland. I've never been to Finland, but I like that they like licorice. This licorice is nice.
If it's the same licorice, the black thing, wow, that's an acquired taste.
They have the happiest people in the world living. And I would love to visit someday.
Well, it's right next door.
That sounds cool.
Finland. I have never been there, but my best friend from university
I'm surprised that there's so few people that have gone to Finland because it's right next door.
is from Finland. So yeah, I have only good thoughts about it. And I think like they have a cool language. Like, I can't really understand it well.
I thought they were similar.
It just seems fun, and I would like to learn more of it. I don't know. It's interesting anyway. Yeah, but do I think something about Finland? Like we think that they are like we have a climate here that's very cold too in Sweden, but we think that they are more like used to that in Finland. Like, but I don't think it's like so much of a difference. But we think like they are very like we are from the north and we like like that's our view of the people from Finland.
I come from Finland, but I've been living here in Sweden for 4 or 5 years already. So yeah, I think Finnish people are a bit more shy and reserved at first, while Swedes are a little bit more social,
outgoing.
They're always like hugging strangers and stuff.
Really?
In Finland, I think it's a little bit too much. But I like that.
I wonder if that's just compared to Finnish people or just in general, as in the rest of the world.
In Sweden, no.
Finnish people are just cool people. They're wholesome.
In Finland, they don't talk unless they have to talk. Only the most important things. And the sauna is very sacred to them. You can't disturb them when in the sauna.
Do Swedish people have saunas?
Super hot. Can't be in there for very long.
When I think of Finland, they call us the land of 1,000 lakes. That's really all I know about them. Finland, they may be a Nordic country, but they don't have the same Scandinavian Viking heritage as us. So I don't really. There is some cultural overlap, but I really don't. I don't really think about Finland a lot. It's really all I can say.
And Finland, they're also very nice people, and I like the country. Their language is also very funny, but in a different way.
Sure.
But yeah, I like the Finnish, the woods and the lakes. It's very beautiful.
Finland, I really like Finland, but I think they're actually like maybe drinking too much. Definitely, because like Russians have a bad reputation, but Finnish people are just like next level crazy.
Oh, really?
Finland was always the part of Sweden in history for hundreds of years. But today, you know, we love the Finns like our brother country, you know, and we hope that Russia doesn't invade them. And we will always help Finland as Sweden.
I must say, Finland is one of my favorite countries in Europe.
Okay, great.
Absolute shit fest of a country, absolutely insane. I love their metal music. And also, if I can add something in...
Oh, they're the ones that have this very heavy metal. They're very into heavy metal, right?
Finnish? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Finlandia, Finlandia, sindet maat kallat politiiverna.
Yes.
Sure.
Finland. I live near the border of Finland, north of Sweden. So I know many people from Finland, and they have good vodka. And they fight very much.
What? They're fighters.
They have sisu.
What is that?
It's go in the people in Finland. They have not so go.
Yeah, I know even less about Finland. Like people seem very reserved and like it seems
Shy.
to be a very reserved country. Just
That's
in
crazy.
general. I know they have a lot of lakes. That's mainly it. I think. I respect
Quite
the
known.
Finnish more than the Danish because I don't know. They live up in the north. They used to seem a bit angry because it's so cold. They have so many
But
heavy metal bands there.
but you live in
The
Sweden.
world. I used to think it's because it's so cold, so they're so angry.
It's the same.
Mr. Frozen. Yeah. Santa Claus is from Finland.
Finland. Finland is cool. I like the saunas.
Everyone has said they're super cool and they love their
I don't
saunas.
know that much about Finland, to be honest.
Hmm.
Also, the heavy metal bands that we talked about before. There's a lot of them.
I don't know really much about Finland. I just know they talk really funny. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the language is weird in Finland because I don't know, it sounds really ugly. Yes.
Oh my god, that's offensive.
Yeah, it seems like very depressing because it's really grey and cold, I think. Yeah.
They're crazy.
Okay, why?
Crazy good. I mean, they're like tamed wild animals. I like their
I'm scared.
like the sisu mentality, and especially the saunas.
Oh my.
And I don't know, they, even though they seem harsh at times, I think they have a
Direct.
nice way of living their lives. It's pretty.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's kind of a mystique around the Finns, and I've only been there once, but I enjoyed it very much.
More than
Finland,
a lot of people.
well, I know a lot of Finnish people, so and they are very nice. So I think it's about like Sweden in Finland too. Very many people in Finland is talking Swedish.
Yeah.
They can Swedish, so there's no problem.
Communicating.
If you see their politicals, they talk Swedish often. If you look at Swedish television like that, so I have only good things about them.
Great, amazing.
It's a fantastic country. They got great education system.
Wow.
Work ethic. A bit too much alcohol in my mind,
Oh my.
but otherwise, fantastic country. Great
Single
nature,
person to say that.
Great politics. Fits me perfectly.
So I think like they have more like they think like we're Swedes are kind of cowards. So basically, maybe they're more like have that harsh culture. And should I say something about like landscapes and stuff? Like I think we have a lot of forests and a lot of lakes. That's very like pretty and stuff.
They're so famous for this.
Similar to Sweden, but like more like non-Sweden.
Finland is also very beautiful and they have really good glass ice cream.
Never heard of it.
They are really good
Glass ice cream. Finland was part of Sweden for a long time, so I guess like you could say it's part Swedish.
Well, similar.
Probably a bit more to the quiet side. They can be talkative, but more focused on the subject. Swedes are a bit more silly compared to Finns.
Okay, more serious.
That was all from today's video, and we hope that you guys really enjoyed it. And if you want to listen more street interviews, or if there is anything else which you guys want us to make videos about, just write in the comment section and just let us know, so we can also work for that as well. To watch more related videos, you can surely subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Until then, goodbye.
Yeah, it's very curious to me because, again, I mentioned earlier that I think, yeah, I think most people, outside of Sweden and Finland, I think they're just thinking, oh, they're very similar countries. I think even more ignorant people would probably assume they're kind of very, I don't know, not the same, but I would venture to say a lot of people will tell you, oh, it's the same because they're so close to each other. There are Nordic countries, not Scandinavian countries, like one of the people there mentioned, one of the guys was, they don't have the Scandinavian mentality. However, I do think from the outside, it's sort of because, of course, they're part of it, and they're those countries, the Nordic countries, because always, and Scandinavian countries, obviously because they're living in it and it's their own culture. Of course they're going to be, oh no, I know that culture is not really my culture. But again, from an outsider's perspective, someone that's not really into that, doesn't belong to one of those countries, I think you may seem, they're very similar, they're Scandinavian countries, they're Nordic countries. Now I know, no, Finland, not Scandinavian, Nordic, yes, but not Scandinavian. Apparently Scandinavian culture is something that's different from Finland, and it's different from, other things. I don't really know what the Scandinavian culture entails, because I don't really know the difference. To me, it's the same. Again, Nordic and Scandinavian mean the same thing. Although, again, I've been educated. I know that they're not the same thing. But again, I don't really understand what's the difference. To me, it's all Scandinavia. But no. Apparently Finland, not a part of Scandinavia. So it's really interesting to me to see the perspective of people that, again, are sort of within that culture, and for them, Finland, it's super dissimilar. It's not really similar to their culture, to their country, and that's the funny thing to me, because, oh my god, from the outside, I think a lot of people will tell you, oh, all those Nordic countries or all those Scandinavian countries, and they'll mention, Sweden, Norway, Finland, they'll mention and they'll group them together. But it's really funny that between them, it's sort of, no, there's a really big sort of barrier here, and we are different from them, which I think is really, really funny. But of course, I believe them. They're the ones living this. So of course, yes, we should probably listen to them instead of grouping them all together in just one single thing. It's different. I think one of the well, maybe not, because I know that Finnish is a really hard language to learn, obviously, if you're not Finnish. But I thought, well, maybe Swedish, because again, Swedish, I think it's also a really hard language. So I would have assumed prior to this, maybe if you speak Swedish, and for Swedish people, maybe it's not that hard to learn Finnish. But apparently, no, it is. It sounds weird even to them. One of the people, I think few of them actually, were talking about, oh my god, it's a really hard language. I can't understand them. They have a really weird accent. They speak weird. And it's funny because, oh my god, for a Swedish person to say this, to me already Swedish sounds really weird. So for them to actually say that as well, oh no. Finnish also sounds really strange. It's not really something that I'm familiar with, or something that I can sort of, if I listen to a Finnish person speaking, maybe I can, again, I'm not going to be, I'm going to tell you, exactly what they were saying. But sometimes I think with similar languages, you kind of get the hang of it of, I think I understood what they were saying. But no, in this case, apparently for Swedish people, no, Finnish, absolutely a mystery. No one knows anything. It's just very, very funny to me. I think it's the opposite though. I think because one of them was mentioning as well, because Finland was part of Sweden at some point in history. So I think it's maybe it's the opposite. I think instead of Swedish culture, well, it's the other way around. Instead of Finnish culture sort of permeating Swedish culture and some remnants of that culture remaining in Sweden, I would assume it's the opposite. It's sort of Swedish culture has remained, obviously they have their own distinct things, but maybe you're able to find some remnants of some Swedish culture, whether that's, language or, I don't know, names of places, just cultural little things, food maybe, that has sort of remained there. And in Finland, probably you can trace it back, some things, they can be traced back to Sweden, but not the other way around. So that makes sense to me that, probably Finnish people are probably more knowledgeable about Sweden just because at some point in their history, they were a part of this. So the opposite, I think, is not really the case, because a lot of these people were also, I don't really know much about them. It's sort of, one of them was kind of rude. They were, I don't think about them at all. It's okay. Well, I'm not telling you. Are you thinking of Finland 24/7? No, but it's funny to me and interesting that most of these people were actually, I don't really know that much about this country, even though, they're right next door. But I think a lot of people, and that's not a specifically a Swedish thing, I think just a lot of people are very into, you only know your own sort of country and your own territory, and you tend to not know, of course, who's surrounding your country, but it's sort of, when it comes to cultural things or maybe people, you're sort of, I don't really know much about them. It's sort of what I can see from cultural things, or maybe someone that knows someone that's from that place. But it's not really, I don't know, it's kind of weird, right? Because they're your neighbors, but a lot of people don't really know much about their neighbors, when it comes to countries, not your actual neighbor as in where you live. But I think one of the things that were the most sort of repeated things were the saunas, super famous for their saunas. I thought, but again, maybe I am wrong about this, that Sweden also had a lot of saunas, because again, Scandinavia, Nordic countries, Northern Europe, that apparently they are not that big on saunas, or maybe they are, but they see the Finnish ones are better. They see, that's what we should aspire to. We should aspire to the Finnish saunas. Or maybe, in Sweden, no, that's not really a thing. I thought it was a thing over there, but maybe no. I'm confusing them with Finland, and if that's the case, well, yeah, probably it was my bad. The other, it was the whole, they were talking about how shy they are and how reserved they are. Some of them, one person said they were more direct, they were a little bit harsher, but I think it's more about the result of being a little bit shyer and a little bit more reserved. They only speak when they have something to say, when they want to communicate, which I think it's really good. But however, I do agree that it's so interesting to me that Swedish people are saying this, because to me, I think, oh my God, again, this is only coming from cliches. I don't think I've ever talked to a Swedish person, but the cliche is that a lot of people, and most of those Nordic countries, including Sweden and Finland, are very reserved. They're very shy. They don't really like, hugging people, physical contact. They keep their physical distance. And it's funny that, oh my God, so for Swedes to think, oh my God, Finnish people are so reserved, so shy, they're on an unbreakable wall. It's funny because, again, it's obviously depends on the culture as well, because probably if you ask, I don't know, an Italian person probably how they feel about Swedes, and they're going to be, oh my God, so shy, so reserved. So again, for them to speak like this about Finnish people, it's hilarious to me. Oh my God, even for a Swede, they're saying, oh my God, they're so direct, they're so harsh. It's probably hard to get to know them because they're just very reserved and they don't really speak unless, they have something to say, which I think is a really good thing. Sometimes you're not supposed to, well, not that you're not supposed to, but I think sometimes you just want to cover the silence with words, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean you're saying anything or that you're communicating. But obviously a huge cultural difference with the USA and with America, because it's the opposite. Everyone's constantly sort of, it's no one's, well, you can be shy, but it's just about, again, you're constantly sort of chatting. So it's funny that, oh my God, the huge cultural differences. And also as well, I want to know the whole, something actually quite interesting before, the ice cream thing. We'd love to try some Finnish ice cream. Apparently they're famous for it. Okay, I've never heard of it, but now want to have it. But the other was that a lot of these people were saying, they're very, the climate's so harsh. It's, oh my God, don't you guys have the same climate? It's quite, it's quite up north. It's quite cold. It's, constantly, well, probably not constantly, but it snows a lot. Although, well, this was a very wrong video for me to illustrate this because it was a beautiful day outside. But I guess Finland also has beautiful days. It's not just everything's cold and gloomy. But actually several people were saying, "Oh my God, you know, the weather's so harsh. Could never live there." Because, you know, it's constantly gray and dark, and it's sort of, wait, aren't you from Sweden? Aren't you supposed to be used to the cold? But no, apparently they have very different climates. Apparently, no idea. But, you know, they're telling me, so I guess I'll believe them. Again, especially, I think you just need to compare, you know, Sweden with anything else, with something else, and maybe you'll get your answer. But to me, it's really funny that for Swedish people, Finland is just this frozen wasteland. It's sort of, okay, I thought Sweden was also a bit of a frozen wasteland, so, you know, who knows. But yeah, it's funny that the land of a thousand lakes, apparently that's something that's really famous for, I don't know, maybe Finland. That's also what the words mean, you know, as in Finland it means land of a thousand lakes. I don't know, but yeah, now I want to go there and visit the lakes, and I also want to have the ice cream. But yeah, great video. That was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.